that the origin of the revolutionary novel Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy began with a 19-year-old Douglas Adams who lay drunk in a field holding a book called Hitchhiker's Guide to Europe. When the stars came out, he wondered if someone would ever write a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And well, here we are now. Hi, I'm your host, Teil, deGrasse, Nyson, and this is the truth behind the universe, according to a drunk turned sober turned English major turned radio talk show host turned atheist turned author, not necessarily in that order. Here, we will learn about the indecent truths behind the vast universe. For one, Douglas Adams has a few words to say about the vastness of space. Space is big, really big. You won't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. I mean, you may think it's a long way down the road to the chemist, but that's just peanuts to space. Let's begin by taking a journey throughout time all the way back to 17.5 million years ago, in a galaxy relatively far, far away, where the only remaining question to be answered in the universe was the ultimate question, the meaning of life itself. A supercomputer named Deep Thought was constructed in spectacular fashion to answer the ultimate question. Unfortunately, the intellectuals were far from pleased, as they discovered the answer to be nothing other than the number 42. The supercomputer claimed they really didn't know the question. Thus, Deep Thought began construction of a computer of such infinite and subtle complexity that organic life itself will form part of its operational matrix. Let's fast forward 10 million years, a little more than 5 minutes from the answer. Arthur Dent, a rather ordinary Earthling, is in the middle of a squabble between a man sent to demolish his house for a highway bypass. Quite unfortunate for Arthur. To even further this misfortune, Arthur was oblivious to the fact that his whole planet was about to be destroyed. You see, not everyone was in on this whole "what is the question to the universe?" The Vogons were terrible creatures. We have our very own expert, Nikolai Petrov, to give his input on the matter.
Here's what you want to do if you want to get a ride from a Vogan. Forget it! They are one of the most unpleasant races in the galaxy. Not actually evil, but bad-tempered, bureaucratic, officious, and callous. They wouldn't even lift a finger to save their own grandmother from the ravenous bug-bladder beast of trial without orders. Signed in triplicate, sent in, sent back, queried, lost, found again, subjected to public inquiry, lost again, and finally buried in salt peat for 3 months and recycled as firelighters. The best way to get a drink out of a Vogan is to stick your finger down his throat, and the best way to irritate him is to feed his grandmother to the ravenous bug-bladder beast of trial. On no account should you allow a Vogan to read poetry to you, for Vogan poetry is the third worst poetry in the universe.
These Vogons needed a hyperspace bypass to be built right through the Earth. Oh, the irony. It was as though the question would have to wait for now. Well, Arthur wasn't too misfortunate after all. He had a friend named Ford Prefect. He wasn't just any old friend, no. He was the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he knew a lot more about the universe than Arthur Dent. He also had a few things to say about towels.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has a few things to say on the subject of towels. A towel, it says, is about the most massively useful thing an interstellar hitchhiker can have. Partly because it has great practical value. You can wrap it around you for warmth as you bound across the cold moons of Jaguar Beta. You can lie on it on the brilliant marble-sanded beaches of Satragonus 5, inhaling the heady sea vapors. You can sleep under it beneath the stars which shine so redly on the desert world of Kakrafoon. You can use it to sail a mini raft down the slow, heavy river of Moth. Wet it for use in hand-to-hand combat, wrap around your head to ward off noxious fumes, or to avoid the gaze of the ravenous bug blaster beast of Trawl, a mind-bogglingly stupid animal. It assumes that if you can't see it, it can't see you. Daft as a bush, but very ravenous. You can wave your towel in emergencies as a distress signal, and of course you can dry yourself off with it if it still seems to be clean enough. But more importantly, a towel has immense psychological value. For some reason, if a strag is a non-hitchhiker, if it discovers that a hitchhiker has his towel with him, he will automatically assume that he is also in possession of a toothbrush, washcloth, soap, tin of string, gnat spray, wet weather gear, spacesuit, etc., etc. Furthermore, the strag will then happily lend the hitchhiker any of these or a dozen other items that the hitchhiker might have accidentally lost. What the strag will think is that any man that can hitch the length and breadth of the galaxy, rough it, slum it, struggle against terrible odds, win through, and still know where his towel is clearly a man to be reckoned with.
Well, Arthur Ford and their towels escaped from the now destroyed Earth, and by the smallest of chances, they happened to stumble across President Zaphod Beeblebrox and his female companion Trillian. Oh, and a mechanically depressed robot named Marvin. We follow Arthur Dent, not that he does much, and his squad as they traverse through the vast universe. Zaphod particularly wants to find a planet named Magrathea. They finally arrive at Magrathea, where the people there custom make planets for the rich. Unfortunately, the economy of the universe is in shambles, and nobody can afford a custom planet. To further the misfortune, the Magrathean computers fire 2 nuclear missiles at their ship for the sheer fun of it, and we have the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie to describe the situation.
It is most gratifying that your enthusiasm for our planet continues unabated. As a token of our appreciation, we hope you will enjoy the 2 thermonuclear missiles we've just sent to converge with your craft. To ensure ongoing quality of service, your death may be monitored for training purposes. Thank you.
Guys, I'm delighted to tell you that there are 2 thermonuclear missiles heading right for us. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and take evasive action. There seems to be something jamming my guidance system. Impact minus 45 seconds.
Computer! Do something!
Sure thing, fella. Handing over manual control. Good luck.
I need some help! I can't do this without my 3rd arm! Martha! Grab my hand! Did we lose him?
No, they're coming right at us.
Oh no, I just pressed this thing!
No, we're not fully back to normal yet.
So what will happen then?
I don't know.
No, don't do it! We're here! Don't tell him where it'll send us, don't do it!
Look, sod it all.
No! Wow. Where are we?
Exactly where we were.
In the missiles?
Apparently they've turned into a bowl of petunias. And a very surprised looking whale.
At an improbability factor of 8,767,128 to 1 against.
We have normality.
Normality, right. We can talk about normality till the cows come home.
What is normal?
What's home?
What are cows?
On Magrathea, Arthur Dent meets a man named Slarty Bartfast, who is actually in charge of the creation of Earth 2. Everything in town turned back to normal for Arthur. However, as it turns out, everything the squad was doing was, in fact, illegal, as they did everything in a spaceship Zaphod had stolen. The Vogons, which are also the police of the galaxy, had just now caught up to them. They're a bit slow. In a huge plot twist, Marvin comes in and saves the day. The squad flies off into the universe in search of a place to eat. If you want to find out more, you can read the second book in the series called The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. Now, it is up for debate on whether to call Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy a science fiction novel. It certainly isn't what you call your average or classic sci-fi book. We on this show like to think of it as a mock science fiction novel. We have brought in an expert on the matter, Katrina Gunner, to explain. But since it is a rather boring subject, here's a looped video of Earth being destroyed by the Vogons.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, at first glance, may come across as the average science fiction novel. I invite you to look deeper. If we look more closely, it actually draws many parallels to that of a mock epic. Yep, throwback to Paradise Lost. Don't worry, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy isn't nearly as boring as a mock epic. In fact, it's quite exciting in my opinion. Anyway, like a mock epic has a mock hero, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has a mock protagonist. His name is Arthur Dent. Most science fiction protagonists are able to exhibit great leadership and make big decisions that may affect others. The only decision that Arthur made was pressing an improbability button that, against all odds, didn't kill the lot of them.
So there you have it. The experts have spoken. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a mock science fiction novel. Well, that's all the time we have today. Tune in next time on The Truth Behind the Universe according to a drunk turned sober turned English major turned radio talk show host turned atheist turned author, not necessarily in that order. I've been Teil deGrasse Nyson. We'll see ya.